Well, hello, Cheryl.
Well, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. Everyone, I'm having a conversation today with Cheryl Hudak, and you are the regional sales rep for Cayman Islands Department of Tourism. Did I get that right?
You did. I'm in the West, so I cover 12 states in the West,
Oh, wow.
and I have 5 additional colleagues that are split out among the U.S. So really everyone that would be listening will have a local sales rep.
Wow. Okay. So it's a pretty big deal, your Department of Tourism. You really want to cover it and make sure people know about you.
Exactly. And, truly travel advisors are our biggest supporters, and we want to make sure that they understand what the Cayman Islands has to offer. We want them to know what we can offer them. What do they need? We can't book a trip, but we can certainly give them a lot of great information or tell them where to go to find some of that information.
Before we get into some of the specifics about activities, and tell me, I know you have a specialist course, and I think it's very important that travel advisors know about this and take advantage of it because it's free, right?
It absolutely is. They simply go to caymanspecialist.com. So just CAYMAN specialist.com. I'll be honest, Velma, the course takes about an hour to complete. It does go over all 3 of our islands, so it does give them a great overview. It talks about some of the resorts we have on island. It talks about some of the sightseeing. So for agents that have never been there or perhaps have only come in for a few hours off a cruise ship, it really does give them a great overview of what the Cayman Islands has to offer. Then the second part of it is we have a rewards program. So once they complete the course, they then pop up on our local radar. So if I am doing, let's say, a lunch and learn or a training or a FAM even, I would look to them first to invite them to that type of an event. All 6 of us across the U.S., our local people will pop up on our radar. We then have a rewards part of it where they can register their bookings, only 4 questions. It's very quick. And the month after their clients travel, our admin person will go in and pull. Let's say whoever had the most bookings in the month of May wins $500.
Wow.
Second place is $250. Third place is $100. And we do a random draw every month for $100. So you can have one booking and still win $100. So it's definitely well worth their time and effort to complete the course. Right now, and we run this different times, we have a special running that if they complete the course and if they complete it by the end of July, so you've got about 4.5 weeks. If they can send me a copy of their certificate by July 31st, and in the subject line, all they have to do is put World Via. I will enter them into a drawing for a set of free Cayman Airway tickets.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my email is just chudak, HUDAK, at caymanislands.ky. So again, and I'm sure you can post that somewhere for anyone who listens, but it's a great way, again, to get a chance to go down yourself and visit the islands.
That, you know what? I did not know that about registering your bookings. I'm excited about this. This will go out on our website today.
Perfect.
Make sure. This promotion that you have, it ends July 31st. You have this ongoing all the time, so they should always be checking to see what's going on.
We do, and they're oftentimes different. Sometimes it might be other offers. That's not always necessarily a set of airline tickets. But in this case, for World Via, we want to do that and, hopefully get quite a few advisors that do take the course and, someone will win.
Woo! Okay. All right. I just want to tell you that my favorite place is 7 Mile Beach.
Perfect.
Because I love the fact I can walk on a beautiful, extremely clean beach that the sand never seems to get hot. I don't know how you do that. It's white sand, but it's not hot. And you can walk. It just seemed to me like I could walk miles out into the ocean. It was crystal clear and I could see my feet and I wasn't afraid. So for me, that was the highlight of visiting.
Right.
But tell me, activities for families, couples, singles?
Sure.
Did you
Well, we were known for three things for the Cayman Islands. One is exactly what you just said, Velma, 7 Mile Beach. It is one of the top beaches in the world. Yeah. Second thing we're known for is culinary capital of the Caribbean. We have over 200 restaurants just on Grand Cayman alone. And I say culinary, and then I'm going to kind of laugh and say, okay, we have a Burger King and a Pizza Hut for those that prefer that. We have food trucks, and we go all the way up to 5-star dining with everything in between. So we have farm-to-table, sea-to-table dining experiences. So we do have a lot to offer, whether it be a family or a couple, and depending on the price point that they're looking for. Yeah. And then the third thing we're known for is scuba diving. We are the birthplace of recreational scuba diving. We have over 365 dive sites spread out amongst all three of our islands. So obviously diving is certainly a highlight, but if you have clients that want to snorkel, we have some great snorkeling as well. One of the reasons why is our visibility sits around 100 feet. So if anyone has gone out snorkeling in some of the other islands or, off a different coast, a lot of times, you might be able to see down 15, 20 feet. And then as you mentioned, gets a little fuzzy. You can't quite see your feet anymore. You're going to be able to see what's below you. Here, most of the time, you're going to find that visibility is up to 100 feet. So even if you're snorkeling over one of the wrecks that we have off the shore, you can actually see the layout of it perfectly. So It's a great opportunity. As far as sightseeing, I think the number one thing that most people want to come to the island and do is go out and visit Stingray City.
Yes.
Stingray City is perfect for everyone. Doesn't matter if it's a family, if you're not a swimmer, you're on a sandbar that's in about 3.5, 4 feet of water. Our guides on the boats are amazing. They'll bring the stingrays right up to you. You can pet them. If you're brave enough to kiss one, it's worth 7 years of good luck, so they say. I've tried this over and over. I should be on like 48 years of good luck by now, but it is one of definitely the top things to do on island. There's a lot of great companies that you can recommend to your clients. And depending if they're coming in off a cruise ship, which many of the clients will come in that way, or they're actually staying on island, there are quite a few companies that offer trips up to Stingray City. So that is certainly our number one activity, I would say, on the entire island.
Right.
One of the other things that's extremely popular is going over to the Turtle Center. The Turtle Center is really very educational. I've gone through it quite a few times. I've learned something new every time myself. For families, some of our turtles are about the size of a quarter, and some of our turtles are about 3 feet across. There is a new lagoon area where actually the kids can go in and swim with the turtles. It's more of a protected environment, especially for some of the younger kids. They do pay a little bit additional to be able to do that, but it's certainly well worth it. At the Turtle Center, there's also an aviary where they can go in. And again, the guides within the aviary are great about putting a little food in your hand and the birds will jump right up on the kids' arms. So again, lots of activities like that, which is something really unique for a lot of families that haven't visited the Caribbean before.
Yes. Yes. You mentioned something that I was going to ask you about all-inclusives, but one of the things you've talked about is the cuisine in all these restaurants. So it kind of answers my question. I was going to ask you, why do you think you don't have as many all-inclusives as some islands? But with all of those restaurants, that would be a tough sell, wouldn't it?
It would be. We have one semi-all-inclusive out on the far east end of the island. It's called the Wyndham. They have a great dive resort right there on property called Ocean Frontiers. But it's not like some of the other typical where you have, 6 and 7 restaurants, 8 to 10 bars. It's really one indoor dining, one outdoor beach bar restaurant. But you're absolutely right. We are British overseas territory. It's very easy to get around the island. It is very safe and secure. I mean, obviously you need a little common sense, but to walk across the street in the evening to go to dinner, you can easily do it. Because of that fact, we don't really focus on that all-inclusive market. There hasn't really been a need to. Can't say down the road, maybe 5-10 years, might pop up that one does come onto island. But right now, because of the resorts that we offer, and whether they be dining at the resort itself or they're dining at a freestanding restaurant, you have so many options available.
There's a growing section of travel that women like to travel in small groups or alone. And this seems like a perfect setup for a single woman traveler that just wants to get away, relax, and maybe lay on the beach.
Exactly. And again, we have some great spas at the resort. Oh. So a lot of times if you're doing that girls getaway, one of the things obviously they're looking for is perhaps that spa experience. So we do have a lot of our larger resorts that do have some great, beautiful spas. And a lot of them, even if you aren't staying there, you can often go over and visit and, take an experience, whatever it might be, whether you're getting a facial or whatever, a massage. So there's some great opportunities for that as well. But yes, I would say if you're staying right there on 7 Mile Beach, again, lots of dining that you could easily walk to, and you would definitely feel very safe. As I mentioned, we are British overseas territory. So I will say for your advisors that are listening, if anyone wants to rent a car, all of the major car companies are located on island. But just remind your clients, we're going to say we drive on the correct side of the road. Your clients are going to say we drive on the wrong side of the road. So they just want to be sure that they're comfortable doing that.
Yes.
It's not that difficult. But, first time they get to a roundabout, they have a tendency sometimes to just circle in the roundabout for a while because they're trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Yes.
But if that's not their comfort level, we also have a great taxi system. There's actually an app that they can download onto their phone. We do not have Uber or Lyft currently on the island, but they can download this taxi app, which is very similar to an Uber or Lyft, and then order a taxi if they want to go a little further than they're comfortable walking. And then we also have a little bus system that also goes around the island. It's kind of a hop on, hop off. Right. So you've got a little bus system that they can take for a couple of dollars to get them different places as well.
I remember when I was selling a lot of leisure travel that I had a customer that wanted to go. One of your sightseeing areas is called Hell.
Yes, it is.
He wanted to go out to Hell. And I researched it in the taxi. It was like a 14-minute taxi ride from coming in from the cruise,
right,
where he was coming off the ship, and very reasonable. So your taxis are very reasonable charges.
Well, and we have a lot of good information. And again, for agents to be able to use some of our websites, you'll learn a lot taking the course, but we also have visit CaymanIslands.com/trade. That's where you're going to find your local sales rep, but it's also where you're going to find a lot of information. We get questions and we're happy to answer them. You can always send these type of questions, but someone might want a private driver. Someone wants to go out on deep sea fishing. Where do I find this information? Who do you recommend? So we do keep a lot of the information there, but we're also happy to answer those types of questions or give you information on who to reach out to be able to book something like that for your clients.
I was curious, could you talk just a little about the other two smaller islands there? Why would you want to? I know there are flights. Are there any ferries now that go between those, or it's still just flights?
It's just flights, correct. So Grand Cayman is our largest. That's the most cosmopolitan. And that's probably what most advisors are most familiar with, because that's where the cruise ships are going to come into. We are a tender-only port. So you right now currently have none of the real large ships coming in because it just takes too long to tender them back and forth. Grand Cayman is where you're going to find most of your activities, the most of your dining options, your shopping. So again, most cosmopolitan. There is a flight out of Miami, or you can fly from Grand Cayman over to Cayman Brac. Cayman Brac is our second largest island. About 2,000 people live there. It's about 12 miles long, about a mile wide. That particular island is known for being a little bit more adventuresome. So besides having great scuba diving, you also have bird watching, nature trails. We have a 150-foot bluff there that you can do some hiking. You also have some great resorts that cater to the scuba divers. So if you have clients that just want to scuba dive the entire time they're there, that's definitely a great destination to be able to put them. And then our smallest island is called Little Cayman. Little Cayman is just 10 miles long, a mile wide. Less than 200 people live there. It is really for those that want R&R. So again, you've got some beautiful little beaches. You've got some fishing. You've got some great scuba diving. And then you want to be able to take a good book or sit at a bar because there's not a lot of activity. When they say the sidewalks kind of roll up in the evening, that's pretty much it.
That sounds good to
Again,
me.
it's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people love it. But, if you have someone that wants to scuba dive and you have a partner perhaps that doesn't, they just kind of need to be a little prepared that when they go on island,
Yeah.
little tiny shops, but it really is for those that just want to R&R.
Well, Cheryl, I appreciate so much that you took time to talk about the beautiful islands of Cayman, and I want to leave everyone with one thought. So, if you had to just describe in a single sentence or two, why should travel advisors sell Cayman Islands to their customers? What could you say?
I would say it's, first of all, very unique in the simple fact that we are more of an upscale destination. So if you have those clients that are looking for the Ritz-Carlton, the Kimpton Seafire, the new Hotel Indigo that just opened last week, you have got some great resorts there that cater to both families. They have some great children's programs, as well as singles or couples that just want to enjoy the island. The fact that we have over 200 restaurants to offer, the crystal clear waters. So again, in the evening time, you can simply go out and enjoy the environment. You can meet the locals. It's a lot of what we have to offer. We are known for something called Cayman kind. And that's really what we're all about. That if you stop someone on the street, they'll be there to answer your question. They'll probably take you to your next destination if you're lost and can't figure it out. But that's truly what the island is all about. It is just a very comfortable, laid back, but upscale destination. So when clients are looking for something different and they don't necessarily want the all-inclusive option, it's definitely something to keep in mind.
That sounds fabulous. I think you should be on the lookout for an uptick in sales. Wild Via members selling Cayman Islands.
Perfect.
I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you at maybe some of our events.
Thank you. Thanks, Velma. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.